Many people don't know that Dick and I met in the theater. We met at Villanova University, and we met in our town. Thornton Wilder's Our Town.
Is that from Mom Apple Pie and the American Flag?
Dick played the professor because he was also directing Anne Frank at another institution, and I played the little girl, Rebecca Webb. And that's where we met. I guess the thing that really bound us together, though, and people probably in this area know more, is The Long Way Home. Because when we moved here...
We moved here in '69, and we opened The Long Way Home the summer of '71. And I wouldn't cast Kathleen as Mary Draper Ingalls because I would have lost my credibility.
Our marriage survived.
Our marriage...
Barely.
But the second year, we had a success on our hands, and I went ahead and cast Kathleen. And Kathleen was a fabulous Mary Draper Ingalls.
The other thing that it did for us, we did this as a family. All of our children were involved in the production, one way or the other, be it lighting or on stage or backstage. So we were always together as a family doing that show. So that bound us together with that show.
As a student, you acted alongside several guest artists. Would you like to talk about some of those experiences, and if you don't mind, speaking directly to the value of that experience for the theater student?
Well, how much time do you have? I can't begin to tell you the excitement that the guest artist program, the visiting artist program, caused with us and with our students when that was going full tilt. And I really hope that we can bring it back full tilt. The students, I remember Wesley, our present director, saying at one time, you know, Wesley said, we can tell them how it is, but when you get a professional person coming in to tell them how it is, it makes all the difference in the world. There are alums now that still remember the excitement they had with playing with the visiting artist. Oh my goodness, there was, I'm just going to go randomly, there was Catherine Houghton, there was Sally Struthers, there was John Amos, there was Julie Adams. Maybe we can talk about Julie Adams in a minute, because Dick was in a play, we were in a play with Julie Adams. Robert Pine came and did a play called Good. Bridget Hanley, who came twice, she did Lion in Winter. Ed Nelson came. He did Separate Tables. The excitement on this campus, the excitement in the community was amazing when these people came, but what they taught our students was also amazing. They gave and gave and gave, and they showed by example, not just by showing up and doing it, but they gave the example of professionalism.
Dick, you had mentioned Julie Adams. Is there anything you would like to reveal about that experience?
That was really an interesting experience. I played Teddy Lloyd, the artist, in Prime of Miss Jean Brodie, but it was originally cast with Chuck. Chuck got ill, and at the last minute I stepped in.
Chuck Hayes.
Chuck Hayes to do the role. Well, I had never had a run through. They sort of had to shove me on stage at the right time, but I had the lines down. But this one night, I walked out on stage to deliver my line, and I went blank. And Julie took one look over it. She saw the look on my face. She came across the stage, and she planted the biggest kiss on me that you'd ever want to see. And the shock of it shocked me right back into my lines. I went right on with my lines, and I never missed another line in that production. The Chuck Hayes, we were doing Look Homeward Angel, and I was playing the father. Look Homeward Angel, Chuck was directing. And you know how you sometimes operate on two different levels? I knew my parents were coming close to their 50th wedding anniversary, but it just didn't hit until I realized that The second weekend, we were running 3 weekends at that time of that show. It was a popular show. And that I wasn't going to be here if I went to see my parents. But I said, well, they'll just have to do their 50th anniversary without me.
The show must go
And
on,
Chuck,
right?
The show must go on. And Chuck said, I won't let that happen. He said, I'll play the role the weekend you're gone. And he had to learn that role. He had played it one time a long time before, but he had to learn that. He played that role. But the point I wanted to make was he never made me feel the least bit guilty about it. And I've always loved Chuck and respected him so much for what he did for me.
Together, you have both been in several productions at RU, with Anything Goes being your 7th that I know of. You have appeared in 3 of these shows as a couple. Dick, would you like to tell us what this was like?
Yes, it was great fun. Life with Father is the one that hits me the most, because we were both playing such strong characters, and we saw, Kathleen, I think at times saw me, Dick Harshberger, in the role of the father, and I saw Kathleen in the role of the mother. And it was really interesting to see.
What enticed you back to the stage for a production of Anything Goes?
Well, you know, it's funny. Through the years, and often people say to us, you know, they say to Dick, I saw you in The King and I, or I saw you in this, or I saw you in The Long Way Home. When are you going to do another show together? And we said, well, I guess our acting days might start to be over because we're so busy. I don't know how we managed to rear 3 children because we're so busy.
I've said to people many times, you don't understand rehearsal schedules.
The commitment.
The commitment there, I said, is very intense. And you have to have a block of time in which you can do that.
So we, you know, just felt we didn't have time to do anything. And then Wesley, I call him Dear Wesley. Wesley, Dear Wesley.
We love that.
Phoned up and said that he had talked with you, Carl, and would we accept these 2 roles in the musical Anything Goes by Cole Porter. And we said, oh, well, I don't think we've got time. You know, we don't have time to do any of this. And then we looked at each other and we said, you know what? Let's make the time. Let's just make the time and do it and have some fun doing what we love to do.
You've been working closely with a large cast of students. How has that been, or how has it been different or not from working with students today and those students of the past?
Let me talk about that a little bit, because I always felt that this theater department, and I've worked with other theater departments, I felt this theater department had more professionalism being instilled into the students than anywhere else I'd seen. I feel that students who leave here to seek a career in theater are very well prepared professionally. But now I think you've taken a step farther, because this production, which is a big, complicated production, has the students doing everything under close supervision. But they're designing the costumes, they're designing the sets, everything is being done by the students. And I just think that's magnificent. And it's such a rich experience for them that they are doing all that. And I find the cast, they're there on time, they're professional, they're courteous to each other, they're right there. They're focused, which makes a big difference, because when they're working with you, they're focused. And that's what you want, because then they pick up your nuances, they pick up what you're trying to do.
These are talented students.
They are.
Talented. And they're also hardworking and dedicated. And, you know, they've also got this wonderful choreographer from the dance department. They've got Wesley, Dear Wesley. They are getting the best of the best, but they are the best of the best. And we're thrilled to be a part of it.
I guess the big thing is the audience. All of this, you know, we need to make sure that that theater is full. You know, and I think that we're on the way to building an audience that comes back and comes back and comes back. And that's done by building that bridge with people who can get here to the theater from New River Valley. And I think that's a lot of steps are being taken to make that happen.
And I think that also what I'd like to see is to see the Curtain Up program grow and grow. There's in my experience, there's been a really wonderful core of people who have supported it since we've reinstated First Nighters / Curtain Up. But I would hope that all of us that are really interested in this just make sure that it grows, invite somebody, because that's how it's going to grow.